From the Detroit Free Press, it's Friday. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Bush's has over 4,000 Michigan products, including the freshest fruit and vegetables, meat, seafood, and baked goods. Stop by one of Bush's 16 locations for the personal service you expect from your neighborhood grocer.
I'm Susan Tompor, and I'm a columnist at the Detroit Free Press. The mortgage market has gone into high alert in January as concerns about inflation build. The Federal Reserve will hold its policy meeting Tuesday and Wednesday, and many expect that bond investors who influence mortgage rates will listen closely to what the Fed has to say. The first rate hike for short-term rates is expected to take place as soon as the Fed's mid-March meeting. Ahead, we may be looking at 3 or 4 rate hikes by the Fed this year. The mortgage market is already taking this into account. The 30-year mortgage rate is already climbing back to levels last seen in March 2020 at the start of the pandemic. The average 30-year rate was just 3.08% back in mid-November last year, but it had shot up to 3.54% by last week based on Freddie Mac data, and rates have been trending higher in the week of January 17th too. Make no mistake, we're not anywhere near the rates of 5% last seen in 2021, and we're nowhere near the double-digit rates of the early 1980s. Consumers will need to watch their credit scores to get their best rates, shop around, and recognize that the low rates of January 2021, when the average 30-year rate hit 2.65%, are quickly disappearing.
I'm Brendel Hightower with the Detroit Free Press. The Henry Ford has decided to cancel 2 long-standing programs this year at its Dearborn Museum complex. The first is the retirement of the Maker Faire Detroit program, which took place the last weekend in July for a decade. The program was billed as the largest 2-day festival in the Midwest and attracted more than 20,000 people, exposing children to STEM, or the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields. The second is the cancellation of the Civil War Remembrance Program that took place during the Memorial Day weekend for more than 30 years. The event, which typically staffed nearly 1,000 reenactors, allowed guests to become a part of living history as soldiers, civilians, and musicians, and offered demonstrations, exhibits, and more. The Henry Ford noted that as they continue to build back from the pandemic, they have been reassessing and reevaluating all that they do, not only to ensure financial sustainability and growth, but to discover and identify areas in which they can rejuvenate offerings and programs for future audiences.
I'm Sue Selesky, Detroit Free Press food writer. Downtown Detroit's newest market, carrying grocery items, meals to go, and specialty items, is now open. The Statler Market, a new venture from the Joe Vaccari Restaurant Group, is paired with the recently opened Statler French-American Bistro, also from the restaurant group known for its Andiamo Italian restaurants. Both are on the first floor of the City Club apartment building at the corner of Washington Boulevard and Park Avenue. The new market and the restaurant are named after the historic Statler Hotel that once occupied the site. Market offerings include convenient on-the-go groceries, prepared meals, and coffee items earmarked as fresh and healthy. Fresh brewed coffee, cappuccinos, and lattes are offered from the market's on-site baristas. Mornings will feature breakfast sandwiches along with croissants and pastries. Throughout the day, expect grab-and-go sandwiches, salads, and soups. Grocery items include jarred Andiamo pasta sauces, as well as pasta, cheeses, power bars, and ice cream. The hope, Joe Vaccari says, is to attract those who live in nearby apartments and draw from entertainment venues like the Fox Theater, Detroit Opera House, and Comerica Park.
I'm Kirkland Crawford with the Free Press Sports Department, previewing a busy Friday night. There is something for just about everyone tonight here in the way of local sports, starting with the Red Wings. Coming off of Monday's overtime win in Buffalo, the Winged Wheelers host the Dallas Stars at Little Caesars Arena, and there may be a new face on the ice. On Wednesday, they picked up Gemel Smith off waivers. He's the brother of Giovanni Smith, and there's a chance the two could be on the same line together starting tonight. The puck drops just after 7:30. Then to the hardwood in First and College. Michigan State is in Madison to take on the Wisconsin Badgers. It's the first game for MSU since last weekend's disappointing loss at home to Northwestern. Then in the pros, the Pistons continue their road trip out in Utah to take on the Jazz, whom the Pistons beat at home earlier this month. Both those games tip off just after 9.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. If you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer.